Today on Linus Tech Tips, we're going to be unboxing the MSI P67A-GD55. As you can see from the front of the box, there's a few things that MSI has to say for themselves about this board right off the bat. First of all, military class 2. This is a hugely important concept for MSI on their motherboards as well as on their video cards. So military class means they're using very high quality components on the board in order to enable a 10+ year lifetime as well as excellent power delivery to your CPU, which is one of the most important features for the P67A chipset boards. It also has a 3-year warranty in the US, Canada, and Mexico. It features their OC Genie 2 one-button overclocking, which is convenient if you want like a quick and dirty overclock versus tuning it yourself, although you will get more out of tuning it yourself. We have 4 USB 3.0 ports, 2 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports, support for NVIDIA SLI technology as well as, well, they're calling it ATI Crossfire X, but I guess it's AMD Crossfire X these days. Not a whole lot to speak of on the back. They have their Winky 3 BIOS utility for going online. We actually tried it. It's a Firefox browser, in case you're wondering. And then there's also their UEFI BIOS. So that is a graphical BIOS interface for this board versus the older, like a Word-style BIOS with just, arrows and enter and plus minus to change all of your options. We have a drivers and utilities DVD, throw it away. We have a quick installation guide. We have a user guide for the software applications. We have a full user guide for the motherboard itself. This is the Europe version, so I'm assuming that includes English somewhere along the line. Okay, we also have an SLI bridge. Remember, if you do need a Crossfire bridge, it should come with your graphics card. We have an I/O shield, which is black, which I like. Like everything to be sort of, black and sleek looking. We have 4 SATA cables included, 2 right angle and 2 straight. And then we also have a Molex to SATA power adapter, just in case you have an older power supply that only has a single harness with SATA power connectors on it. We have their convenient M connector, which allows you to plug in all your front panel connectors to that, and then plug the whole brick into your motherboard at one time for easier installation. Here is the board itself, the P67A-GD55. So the D in the name means that this is part of their gaming series. From what I've seen so far, the G series boards, what differentiates them from the C series P67 boards is that they do have support for their dual 16x PCI Express slots to run in 8x 8x mode for SLI and Crossfire. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this sticker, and we're going to start in the middle of the board where the LGA1155 socket is. Around the edge of the board, you're going to see we have a 6+1 phase power design on this particular military class board. Up in the top left, we've got our 8-pin power connector in its ideal location because most cases have routing option, well, most high-end cases have routing options for that cable to come up this way. We've got our CPU power connector, and then we've got 4 DDR3 module slots supporting dual channel. We have, oh, look at this. This is interesting. No, come up here and have a look at this. So we have, it looks like we have voltage read points, but we don't have the convenient interface soldered onto it that you would see on the higher end GD65 board. So you can probably still put a multimeter on there. I'm just not quite sure if that'll work. All right, so we've got a 24-pin power connector in its ideal location on the right-hand edge of the board. And then we have our SATA ports. So here we have all supported off of the Intel chipset. 2 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports and 4 SATA 3 gigabit per second ports. We have what is a very low profile chipset cooler, and then moving down the board we have our OC Genie button. Remember, that is a toggle switch, so on, off. We have our reset and power buttons, and then we have support for front USB, front FireWire, and front USB 3.0, so that's a pretty cool thing to have. Our slot layout is the same as the GD65 version. Just gonna move that. We have 2 PCI slots, 2 PCIe 16x physical slots, so those are going to run in either 16x mode or 8x 8x mode if you're running both, and 3 PCI 1x slots. So if you're using 2 dual slot graphics cards, which is sort of the most likely configuration for Crossfire SLI, you're going to be left with 2 PCIe 1x slots and 1 PCI slot for any additional expansion that you want to do. So now let's have a look at the I/O shield on the back. This is one of my favorite things. You got that combo mouse keyboard PS2 port. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 USB 2.0 ports, a clear CMOS switch, which I love. I love this feature, although I have yet to need to clear the CMOS on a P67 board. We have support for digital audio in both optical and coaxial flavors, FireWire, Gigabit Ethernet, 2 USB 3.0 ports on the back panel, as well as 7.1 audio out. Cameraman wants to have a look at the cooling solution on the MOSFETs, which is actually pretty slick looking. I really like it. Once you peel off the plastic, there's actually quite a shiny, glossy finish to the blue that is on those, and I really like the overall color scheme of this board, although it seems trivial. I am a shallow person. What can I say? The back of the board looks like the back of pretty much any LGA1155 or 1156 board. Don't forget, if you are buying a CPU for this motherboard, make sure you're buying a Core i3, i5, or i7 with 1,155 contact points on the back, not 1156. It only supports LGA1155 CPUs. Thank you for checking out my unboxing, and don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other tech computer videos.